DJing is truly an act from God, right? We take our two hands and our imagination and we shift the vibe in the room. We create energy and we're also making memories memorable for all the attenders in the party. That's something that should be held sacred. DJing is an act of selflessness. It's not always about how we feel, even though we have preferences, but it's about the people. So understand this, doctors heal the body, therapists heal the mind, but the DJ heals the spirit. And it's not about clout, it's about calling. And when God calls you to help people heal through sound, that's sacred. Don't take for granted. Peace.
Creatives, you should stop making content. In fact, you should stop making art for your peers, that is. They're not your assignment and they're not your audience. You should make art for the people who love your art.
You ain't ready to put 5 years of grind into anything without making a quarter.
Right.
Don't even start. Sometimes it takes that long to get over the hump. They're not ready.
I think a lot of people go through this thing where if they share information, they're going to lose their business. They're going to lose their edge. Two things are true in this world. One, there's only one you, and nobody can do what you do, even if they try to copy you one for one. It's never the same. And then two, most people that you give information to won't actually take you up on your information. I could tell people right now how to start a business from scratch, all the pitfalls, and all the things you should and you shouldn't do. And you know what? 2% will actually take my advice and use it. The rest of them either know better than me or are too lazy to make it happen.
Before it's time to spin, you've got to first cue it up.
I'm probably in your area too. Everybody who owns a laptop, they're a DJ. Everybody who owns a DSL camera, they're a photographer.
And what I'll do is put up blurbs so therefore you can see what I'm thinking about and why I chose that song. You can see the reaction of the kids. So you can kind of like get an idea of how to use it and what to expect.
Why do you want to charge for something that you have the knowledge of and these other DJs don't have the knowledge of? Share your knowledge, you know?
Right.
But it's DJing is a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun too, you know? I'm djmikiemike. I cover central, northeastern Pennsylvania, southeastern Pennsylvania, parts of New Jersey, parts of New York State.
And I'm Dwayne Dixon, the Hitman DDub from Cleveland, Ohio. And it's time to cue it up. What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Cue It Up DJ podcast with me, the Hitman DDub, and my co-host, djmikiemike.
Hello, everybody.
And as you can see, we have some special guests tonight. We have Angie from Happenstance Events and Buddy and Tracy from TBM Productions. So we finally get a chance to see Tracy, the T and TBM Productions tonight.
Yes.
So
I do exist.
Yep. Hopefully everyone can hear because I was trying to cut everything off that I didn't need because this last month our Zoom and internet keeps cutting off. So I'm trying something new. So I'm glad I had that bumper video because no sound was coming through at the beginning. But hopefully everyone can hear us. And again, our podcast is a podcast for DJs of all skill levels to come connect, learn, and grow. From pro tips to real talk, we're here to support and celebrate the DJ community. So last week we talked about being seen online. And the key takeaways was, number one, consistency beats instant success. Just remember, there's no shortcuts. Keep showing up, keep posting content, and success is usually the result of hundreds of small actions. Number two, build a brand that's authentically yours. I know a lot of people are talking about using AI for marketing, and that's great and dandy, but make sure whatever you're putting out is truly what your brand stands on. So try to use your own authentic photos, tell your own story, and not try to live out somebody else's dreams. Stay neutral or natural on the camera, and don't become a copy of someone else. And the last key takeaway was, people matter more than the music. Being a great DJ isn't about owning the most expensive gear or doing the fanciest tricks. It's about serving people well, reading the room, creating memorable experiences, and leaving guests feeling like they were part of something special. Which brings us to tonight's episode, which is creating seamless weddings. From vendor relationships, timelines, and teamwork. And this is important because we're talking about something couples rarely get to see. And that is what happens behind the scenes when wedding vendors work together and not against each other. Because I know we have so many horror stories about our events, whether it's by ourselves or working with other vendors. And when the communication is not there and we're not all on the same page, then it's hard for anything to go right. Or if it goes, we don't get a chance to enjoy the event because we have our little hostility, anger built in because of being agitated.
Yep.
But before we jump into our discussion tonight, let's meet our guests. We're going to especially highlight the ladies tonight. I know people have been saying we need to get some female guests on our show. So we got two of them.
We're so
tonight.
lucky.
Yep. So let's start off with Angie. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your business and how you got into coordinating weddings and events.
So I loved doing events for my children. And I would do these elaborate birthday parties. And I'd have, it would be cowboy theme. We'd have horses or we would do the circus and we'd have clowns. I mean, it was just something that I loved. And at the end of the day, when everyone had a good time, I knew it was something that I could do. And I absolutely loved it. And it evolved over the years as they grew up into mostly weddings. And the reason I do it, honestly, I was thinking about this today. When the bride comes up to me at the end of the night and hugs me and said, that was the best day of my life, I just drive home with a smile on my face because we did that. We did that. And she will never know, ever, about the fires we put out behind the scenes because inevitably, and you guys know, having a venue, something goes wrong every single time. It might be little, it might be big, it might be no cake, it might be cake on the floor, it might be caterers late. It's always something, and they will never know. I will work so hard to figure it out. And I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. At the end of the day, it's like, wow, we created something beautiful, and they'll remember it forever. And they won't know any single thing that went wrong that day. That's my goal every time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I try to tell my couples when I meet with them and do their consultation. The whole point of us meeting and going back and forth before the day of, because I want them to enjoy their day and not be stressed about anything. If anything happens, then I want them to trust that I'll be able to handle it or meet with the person and we can work together so they can enjoy their night.
Absolutely. I usually ask the bride to tell me who's that one person that I can go to if something does arise that I kind of need maybe permission to fix, or whatever the situation may be. And so it's typically a sister, bridesmaid, something like that. And I rarely go to them because it's something that we can figure out. So we all work together. That's why timelines are the Bible of the day. Very, very important.
Yes.
Caterers on board, DJs on board, photographer knows like every single thing. They allot enough time for makeup and hair, which, as we talked about earlier, is huge. And that runs late. I just don't think they understand that the concept of time when they start at 9 or 10 in the morning, and then they get behind, and then we're playing catch up all day. So yeah.
Okay, Tracy, your turn.
So, hi, I'm Tracy. Married to this guy. Started.
Funny smile. There you go.
I kind of fell into the coordinating. In the beginning, when we first started doing weddings, I would just go with because I thought it was fun. But then I started seeing that it was a little disorganized, and I figured, somebody had to kind of keep things moving along and ensure that things were happening. So I kind of just started taking over unofficially, and similar to what you were saying, Angie, like I remember the first one I did, and they were like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for stepping in, because, we didn't know what to do. And, we were getting pulled in, 25,000 directions, and, we were worried we weren't going to get everything done, but, you were able to step in and kind of steer us down the right path and keeping everything coordinated. And so that's where I was kind of like, okay, well, I think this is something that we need to start offering, and I need to start doing this a little more.
Absolutely.
Angie, how long have you been a wedding coordinator?
Oh, how old am I?
Now you have to tell your age.
24, 25.
Many moons.
That's great. I don't know if Buddy or Dwayne tell you, I had horror stories of working with wedding coordinators, and I've worked with some great wedding coordinators that were so Johnny on the spot. It was unbelievable. And it was great. I mean, really, really great. But the ones that are so lax, they just get under your skin, and it makes for such an aggravating night for the DJ, for the bride and groom, for the guest, everybody. Tracy, how long have you been doing this?
So it was what, 2009?
2009.
Yeah,
she started doing
2009. Yeah.
I mean,
I I understand what you're saying, but like, there's bad photographers. There's bad people. Maybe not bad, or maybe lax. Maybe their personalities are a little different. They operate their business a little different, and that's all part of working together and communicating. Like, we've got to figure each other out, because our main goal, all of us should be there to support the couple. That's why we're there. It's not about us individually. It's about the couple.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you 1000% there. And I know going with Buddy, be there. And now, if you go to a wedding and you see this wedding coordinator doing something, or you see this DJ doing something, you're like, should I say something or should I say something? And it's like, why are you doing it this way when you could do it this way, which is so much easier? But again, I usually try to sit back and say, okay, this is the DJ's gig. Let him do it. And the one point I had to call the one DJ out. It was just like, you just announced the 1980 set, and you started off with a song from 1994. Like, come on, So there's things that even with wedding coordinators, the same thing. It's like, I had one wedding coordinator tell me I'm supposed to. I did the introductions completely wrong. I said, what do you mean? I said, I've been doing this for over 20 years. She goes, Mike, you're supposed to introduce the bride and groom first. I'm like, where did you learn this from? She goes, YouTube. I'm like,
oh gosh.
You watch around videos then,
Timelines are important.
Yeah.
We must communicate and work together and follow them.
Yes.
That is what is most important. And that's why when I connect with the bride and groom, and yes, we're going with you, I have them send me, if they don't already have their vendors, I have them send me a list of their vendors. Just exactly what I did with Dwayne. As soon as I knew we were a go, I don't care if it's 11 o'clock at night. Let's go. I'm emailing every single vendor, and I introduced myself, and that's how we met, and that's how we work together. And then we go from there.
Yeah.
And Dwayne was great. He replied, and he said, wow, your communication's great. This is like kind of unreal. And I was like, but that's how it should be.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
we followed the timeline to a T. And then so I was off at the ceremony site at the church while my associate was there at the venue while he got there to set up. And we went back and forth and we double checked everything. Yes, we're doing this and this and this and this and this, like 5-minute increments. Everything lined up. It was perfect. Everything was great. We did have a little wrench in our plan. We had a cousin that made a slideshow and a presentation for the groom because all his family couldn't come in from out of the country. And so we worked together and we tried to figure out, okay, they have no idea this is coming. We're on a very crazy strict timeline. Where can we put this in? Because I know how important it is to her. And it was also taking, like, they put a laptop on the sweetheart table and the bride and groom got to watch this show, but it was about 20 minutes long.
Oh.
And the guests didn't seem to mind, which I was worried about because they were just kind of like, okay, that was kind of fun. They didn't get to see it. So things like that always happen. And you just have to fit it in somehow, make it work, give yourself some leeway. But that one worked out. So
Yeah, I just wish with that one, I just wished they would have had mentioned that early in the planning, because then I could have brought a projector, because I have a like a projector slide and then a projector, and therefore everybody that was sitting at the tables could have enjoyed the video as well.
And she threw that on us like with 10 minutes and she's like, when can I do this? And we're like, okay, we'll figure it out. We'll make it work. Because I knew that was important to them. They had a smaller wedding because his family lived in another country. So I get that. But we made it happen and it was effortless. We just worked it in.
When you,
But
like
a
you
lot of
said,
that,
when you have a special timeline coming up and you're going to follow that to the T, that is your main thing. And you try to take this as much stress off the bride and off the groom.
Yeah.
And it shows through your work. Like I say, you get some that just DJs, photographers that don't care. It's just like, okay, so what? Like, listen, I gave you a printout of everything that's going on tonight. When I do every wedding, I have one for the venue, one for the photographer, one for the videographer.
Yep.
If they have a wedding coordinator, I print one out for the wedding coordinator too. And they're like, okay, well, the bride and groom didn't tell me this. And then they have stuff on there that the bride and groom didn't tell me. So it's like, okay, well, let's see where we could fit this in and where we could do that. So it's like peanut butter and jelly. We're supposed to all go together and make a beautiful sandwich.
Yeah, but I was going to say, but the main thing was, being that we're all responsible for different parts of the wedding, it's important that as soon as you realize that you have other working parts, that you need to communicate before the day of.
Yes.
The only reason that me and Angie was able to pull that off was because we did a lot of talking and going back and forth, making sure because she talked more so with the bride, I talked more so with the groom. And it didn't seem like they were somewhat together, but not fully together. So we had to always make sure when we got something new that the other person knew what was going on. And even the day of, as soon as I saw Angie, I was like, this is what we discussed. Because even Monday, there was still a lot of missing parts that the DJ needed to know. Like, what song are you going to, the grand entrance song? They didn't have that together. They didn't have that pick yet. And they really didn't think about how they were going to come in. So it's like, it's not just about picking a song. It's about me introducing the bridal party, or it was just the bride and groom. Still, that timing. So that's like when I did the song, I had this thing ready that I was going to say, but it's like I had to pivot right there on the spot, because as soon as the music came on, they were walking. And
Yes.
see, it's like small details like that I need to know. Now, where you're going to be standing, this is your musical cue, because the song that they picked had like an introduction. That wasn't the part I thought they should have walked in on. That was the part I was supposed to build the anticipation up. Then as soon as they heard the introduction, then the drop, then that's when I was going to say the name so you can get that big pop. So it's like,
and I'm standing on the side. No, hold on.
yep.
They get so excited. I think they're
do.
like, ah, let's go.
Yeah.
They do.
The one thing I learned, well, before the bridesmaids would have bouquets, I would tell them, please do not hold up your bouquet until after the photographer takes your picture. Because I had so many weddings that the bridesmaid goes like this, and then the groomsman has a bouquet for a head. I mean, that's an easy fix, because the photographer could take them back and just do a fake walk-in.
Yeah.
But for other things, it could happen, and they are so excited. I mean, from the first person walking in, which is usually mom and dad, to the bride and groom, it's like you could go over and over. Okay, this is your cue. You're going to hear this part of the sign. This is when you're going to come in. But they're not thinking. They're just like, we want to get in there. That's it, you know?
Right.
Yeah, that's why I try to, that part, most of the time, except for this last one, most of the time, that's what we discussed in the consultation. That Monday that I met with the bride and groom before their wedding, that's all the stuff that I was supposed to be going over with them, knowing the timing and all that. And even before I do the grand entrance, that's what made this one kind of different, because I was so used to doing everything by myself, you know, going back, lining everybody up, making sure I got the names, and then making sure everybody know when and what to do. So that's where I was like leaning on Angie to do a lot of that, but at the same time, she didn't have the song and she didn't know what was going on. So that was a lot of stuff that we had to do on the fly. But that kind of stuff, it's like, that's why it's important when you get there, not only meet the coordinator, meet the photographer. Because the photographer had to hook up into my mixer. So I'm glad I got the new mixers. That was easy. But there was a part where we had to change some stuff around. What was it? There was a special dance or something.
Yes.
Where if I had to just play the song, she wouldn't have been in her spot to start the videotape. So it's everybody needs to be in constant communication and working together.
Yes. She was absolutely an amazing photographer. Oh my gosh. Her pictures are on a level that are just amazing.
So Angie, I was like, I had to question whether I was at the event. That's how good she was. Because I saw her doing things, but the way she was able to tell a story with just that image. Because you can put that image up on a wall and you can stand there and you can write a story from the visual that she put. So
she's absolutely amazing.
That's what I call an artist.
Absolutely. She's amazing. So Mike, and how do you guys handle this? What's the magic rule here? Tracy, you too. Who releases the tables to go to the buffet line?
Usually I do it. Yeah. Because we don't like to make, okay, table 2, because then it sounds like, a bingo hall. So I'll go around, that's one of the questions when we have our final meeting is we meet with a couple. Actually, if they have a wedding coordinator such as yourself, Angie, we always invite.
Right. Well, I had a bride of 200 guests tell me, I didn't really think about that. That's a good question. I just kind of thought everyone was just going to get up and go. And I'm like, no. And it wasn't even double-sided. And so,
no.
Right? Oh, you guys get it.
Oh, yeah. We always, as soon as we find out there's that's one of the questions on our form that we have them fill out. As soon as they tell us buffet, we're like, hey, see if the venue can do a double side because it's going to move a lot faster.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So my assistant and I, we pulled the table out and it was against the wall. I'm like, there is no way. The first table that goes through here is going to be bored to tears by the time table 32 gets through.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's just come on, guys. And so we pulled that table out, and then sometimes we did actual 2 tables. This venue was so big that we actually did 2, and the room was clearly divided. Dance floor in the center, these tables here, these tables here. We did 2 buffet lines, and we got them through. We were like, I had my assistant here, I was on this side, and I'd go up and I'd, touch a gentleman on the shoulder, please take your plate. You guys, and then I mean, it was like 38 minutes by the time we got the bride and groom through to table 32. I timed it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we ran into a situation, this is going back many years, they had pasta stations.
They had 2 of them, 2 or 3 at least.
Three.
Yeah.
This was a big wedding, so 3 pasta stations. And you can guess what the next thing coming out of my mouth is. Guess what happened? They ran out of pasta.
At
all 3 stations.
Oh, killing me.
So
plus it was very time consuming.
Yes,
also.
yes, because it was
It
made
is.
to order.
Oh yeah.
Yep, made to order. 1 person, 1 burner, bunch of pasta, 4 different sauces and meat like chicken and sausage.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Bunch of stuff you can add in there and customize it. So in theory, a small wedding, let's say 50 people, 2 of those you can knock out very quickly.
Sure.
And 200-person wedding like this was outside in tents in the rain. It was raining that day too.
Of course.
So muddy outside. Not fun because you had humidity. You had the side of the tents down, and that was the one where the floor gave way and women fell through the floor. They put temporary floor up, and I went to go grab her. My foot went through the floor.
It was a bit of a disaster.
Yeah, that's not us. That's the tent company, and that's the other things. But it's stuff that you see.
Mm-hmm.
And Tracy was running around talking to the caterer, and then the floor was gone, so we had to move tables, and it's like, okay, what do we do next? And I'm like, Tracy, what do you want to do in this one? Yeah. I kept on throwing her fireballs at her. I'm like, hey, Tracy, I got another one for you. Boom.
A couple of things they asked me to dismiss the tables, and they said, well, you could just announce it over the microphone. And again, like you said, I felt like I was in a bingo hall,
Right.
B2, B1, So I just walked up to the table and I said, no, ladies and gentlemen, you can get up now. And I waited for half that table to get through, and I walked up to the next table and just quietly tapped somebody or told them, okay, it's your turn to get up.
Mm-hmm.
Again, when you're announcing it, it's more or less like it's like a game,
Mm-hmm.
honestly.
Mhm.
So doing it quietly, I think, is more respectful for the bride and groom, and it's more formal that way. Instead of just yelling, hey, table 2, come on, let's go, get up there to eat. Like, oh, okay, what's the next game we're gonna do here? So
I try to have fun with them while I'm, waiting to send them up there. Like I try to talk
Absolutely.
to the people at the table and kind of get to know them, and
Yeah.
I'll tease them about dancing later, stuff like that, just to try to make it so they're not like, because everybody's like, oh my gosh, is there going to be enough food? Am I going to get enough food to eat? But, and they're freaking
Yeah.
out. Never mind that you've probably just eaten a ton during cocktail hour.
Right.
yeah,
But everybody gets
Well,
worried. So I
they-
just, I try to
Right.
keep spirits light while they're waiting.
they may have had that happen at another wedding, that they might have been table 20, and by time table 20 came up there, it might have been a handful of this, a handful of that. So now they're thinking, well, geez, I'm table 23. The last wedding at table 20, they ran out of food, or we only had a little bit of the food
Yep.
left over. So many things go through guests' minds.
Sure.
It's a-
And that's happened to me. So we did a wedding, and the bride, if I hear I need to do this on the cheap, it just, I'm like, okay, this isn't going to go well. So she did 1 entree and 2 sides and salad and rolls. And I'm like, okay, you guys are young. They're just fresh out of college. There were 200 guests. And the first couple tables. So what I typically do is I will grab the bride's plate and I will escort her, and we will get her through the line. That way nothing gets on her dress, and she's super pretty, and they sit down and they attempt to eat. And then we do Like you said, Tracy, we do the family tables. We do, if they have a wedding party, that's fine. A lot lately, the wedding party's been scattered about.
Yep.
So,
or they don't have, we've had them, they don't have a wedding party.
right. So the frat boys went through the line because they were at the table closest to the groom and he wanted them to go through. Well, I had to be the chicken police. They're taking 4, 5, 6 pieces of chicken on their plate. And I'm like, okay. So after I see this happening, and I scrambled, so I found this little, I had a business card in my pocket, so I folded it in half and I said, please take one. And I folded it right in front of the chicken. But they had already gone through. So last 2 tables at this wedding got a dinner roll and no chicken. And they wiped everything out. And this gentleman said to me, so all I get is a dinner roll? And I'm like, I guess so. I mean, and I tried to talk her into, getting a second meat, getting a second protein. And she's like, no, it's too expensive. And I was like, okay, we're going to run out of food. It'll be all right. No, it won't. But, and, the caterer was kind of embarrassed, but, they even pack heavy. And as you know, and if you have that second protein, you're getting, like, it might be, an 8-ounce chicken breast and like a 6-ounce sirloin or vice versa or whatever. But it was awful. I felt so bad for the last 2 tables, and it was 100 degrees in the blazing sun. They couldn't get away from it because it was a great big courtyard and they got no food.
I seen that happen in guests, and the guests were opening up their envelopes and taking money back out. I didn't blame them. I was like, listen, you're not eating.
It depends. Like, in this case, Angie, that you gave, the bride and groom, they played a part in it because they weren't listening to the advice. But, like, some of it, if people are just being greedy, that's not the bride and groom's fault or the caterer's fault if people are just piling stuff on their plates because it's free food.
So Angie, I gotta ask you a question because I always ask this when I talk to coordinators. And again, Tracy knows the answer to this pretty much. What would you say your top 2 things for any vendor they should know about dealing with a coordinator to help a coordinator to better the day for the couple? What are your top 2 things?
Oh, goodness. Well, definitely, I think I go a little extra and communicate. And if I can't get the photographer to get back to me, I just keep going. I want to know everyone's timeline or what they think the timeline is. That's my number one thing. And communication. And the other thing is whatever the bride wants, the bride's going to get. And I'm going to make that happen. And it's not aunt so-and-so, and it's not mom, it's not cousin so-and-so that's in town that wants to sneak a peek at the bride real quick. She just wants to talk to her real quick. No,
just super quick, not. I promise.
Yeah. See, and it's just...
Well, tell your story to Mike.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, no, it's...
Tracy's got to start with the microphone.
So, like, when we get to a venue, like tomorrow, we have a wedding tomorrow. Like, we've already talked to the we've already talked to the couple. We had our final meeting with each of them about a week ago. The venue tomorrow, I'll go in right away. We'll start setting up, and I'll talk to the captain, and I'll compare timelines against what I've been given versus what they have. And you've probably seen that, Angie. Sometimes they don't match, and so then we work on, okay, if they don't match, how do we make it match?
Right.
Then as soon as the photographer, videographer get there, I go to them and say, this is what we got. This is what we're doing. And, I stress to them, hey, listen, like, we're all here to do the same thing. We're working for the couple. Do me a favor. I'm going to keep you super informed about what's going on. So you may not have had a DJ or a coordinator do what we're about to do. But in return, if you're going to leave, like if you're going to go outside to have a cigarette, if you're going to run to the washroom, I just ask that you let me know so that I know what's going on. I will go look for you. I will draw the line at going into the restroom, but I will go look for you. I will make every attempt to try to find you.
I think you'll open the door up and yell in the bathroom.
I would open the door up for sure and yell in the bathroom. I will not go in there, or I will say, "Hey, is the photographer in there? Make them come out," because, like, I don't want to do anything without them there. We've all been hired to do a job, like you said, Angie. You cannot do it again. You can't do it over again. It's you know, there's a little more pressure than doing a birthday party, which
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly. Yeah. I strive for perfection. I know sometimes it's unattainable, but I try to make it happen.
Yep.
And I let everyone know that's my goal at the end of the day. So I think that elevates people to, okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
So here's one other follow-up question with you. I always ask coordinators. I ask this for photographers, videographers, and other wedding professionals. In the time you've been doing coordination, I'm sure you've had some really bad DJs. Can you tell us a quick story of that bad DJ? And I know it's not Dwayne. I know it's not him.
No, he was great.
No, yeah, I know it's not him, so it's not Dwayne. Dwayne's name's not gonna come up here. We don't need names, but
No, of course not.
Just some basic details: wedding, how big, and basically what did they do that you're like, wow, this is not a good person to do this.
So funny, you should ask. So I had one not too long ago that as soon as I saw him, I had reached out by email, great to meet you, see you there, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. Soon as I saw him, and I had walked up to him and I said, you know, I'm Angie, I'm the coordinator. Anything I can do to help you? Obviously, I knew it was a DJ. He was setting up on ceremony site, and the venue was a little bit of a walkover. And he said, I really have everything I need. I have my timeline. And I said, well, I have a timeline too. Would you like to merge them? And he's like, no, I'm good.
Uh-oh.
No.
Cool. Okay. So we do the ceremony. He comes up to me after I've done rehearsal 2 nights before, and he's like, you need to do this, this, this. Let me know when I'm supposed to play the music, when the bride's coming down. Okay, I'm going to make the best ceremony ever. She had a large party. There were 8 on each side. We had many little children, and this one didn't have a dog, so that was a bonus. So he does his thing. We move over. Well, he decides that he's going to change the timeline, and we are supposed to do immediately bride and groom. Hey, you know, this and that. Oh no. So we get the bride and groom in there, and then we were going to do cake cutting, and we were going to do the 3 dances. Well, the sister comes up to me and said, how much time do I have? I want to freshen up before my toast. I said, you have 17 minutes. We got the dances, we got cake cutting, you know, you're good. So she starts to go to the bathroom to freshen up to get a cocktail. The DJ puts a microphone in her face.
Oh, God.
Okay, let's go. Maid of honor, it's your toast. And she looked at me kind of scared. She was not prepared. And he did that consistently through the rest of the night. So we were supposed to get them introduced, and then the food, the caterers were ready. The food was dropped. Caterers were standing behind their food, ready to serve. We're rock and roll ready. She pulls herself together. She does her toast. So then best man assumes he's going to do a toast, which he told me it was 6 minutes long. 17 minutes later, he's finally done. And the caterers are worried about their food. Then he decides, bride and groom we're gonna start dancing. We're gonna do their dance. And then mom and son are gonna do their dance, and then bride and dad. So the food was 45 minutes delayed. And it was really frustrating. So that's just one part of what he did. And I'm trying to be super quick here. The bride and groom decide we were at a lovely, it was a beautiful venue, and they had cows on the property, and the bride was obsessed and she wanted to go do pictures. And so they ran off and they were doing their pictures, and the DJ played no music for 35, 40 minutes. And
nothing was happening.
Nothing was happening. 200 guests were sitting there at their tables because they had to sit really quick to watch said speeches. So mom comes up to me, grabs my arm, Angie, I'm really unhappy. Go talk to him. Go talk to him. Make it happen. Make something happen. I went and talked to him and I said, you need to play music now. He goes, no, they decided to go take pictures with cows. I'm not doing anything. And I'm like, I don't start her music that she had. Just play something else. I play Sinatra. I don't care what you do right now. We're losing our audience hardcore. And they're hungry and they're hot. It's been a long day and no music. And he didn't understand his role, or, you know, I mean, he's the MC of the night.
Yep.
And I was really upset.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
That's totally uncalled for, dead air, definitely. I mean, that's, even if I have a ceremony in one area, and like, especially a barn that'll have two barns, one's for ceremony, one's for reception.
right.
I set up my reception area, I run over, set up my ceremony area. But I put music, I use virtual DJ, so I know I'm not going to be there, but there might be some guests filtering in and out.
Sure.
So I'll just throw a bunch of music in and throw it in auto mix. So if they
Mhm.
walk in there, there's something going on.
Mhm.
Ceremony gets over, they get up there quicker than I do. So there's music. It's not walking into empty space, basically, I call it. And you have to have stuff on there for the guest. Definitely.
We'll split sometimes depending. So if the ceremony is far away from where the reception is, Buddy will stay where the reception is just in case that happens, Mike.
Mhm.
Like if guests don't go to the ceremony, they just come in. That way they're coming into music. They can feel welcomed. They're not
Yes.
just coming into a cold, empty room. And then either me and one of our guys, we go do the ceremony. And while we clean up, then as guests start coming in from cocktail hour, they're coming into a party already.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Got a question here from Will. Will is asking, Angie, in regards to DJ equipment, is there anything that rubs you the wrong way or you don't like far as DJ setup? So is there something that DJs do in their subs that really bother you, that you're like, yeah, that does not look good. Why would you do that? Or no, you shouldn't have dancing lights on when people first walk into the room,
Right.
before even the cocktail's served.
Yes. There's a time and a place for everything. And we're not going, you know, dance party USA until everything's done. And, you know, the last table's through, and you've got to know your audience. And please wait till grandma leaves before you know, start playing some
The
music.
raunchy stuff.
Yeah, that grandma shouldn't hear. You know, please wait till grandma leaves. Just so my pet peeve is, and Dwayne and I have discussed it, don't turn the lights off and have the music so loud that people who aren't dancing leave, because it's no longer fun.
Yeah.
It's a drunken dance party with like the wedding party.
Well, you have to try to remember that it's a family event, and you could and friends, obviously, but you could possibly have people there that have not seen each other in a very long time. And so some of them are just going to want to talk and catch up.
Right. So a couple weekends ago, caterer had done their contractual duties. They left. Everything was clean at this point. Bar still open for 2 hours. There's lots of plastic cups on tables with drinks in them. And so I'm going around and I was clearing, you know, I had kind of a bucket with me and I'm dumping things in there just to make it, you know, stack cups, make it super efficient and get out of there. I couldn't even see. I had to use my phone to see where cups were on the tables. I mean, it was so dark and so loud in there, and they had multiple children just running around. And I was like, oh, this is a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
And he had already been told to not have the music that loud because there was another venue on property that had complained, we hear your music, not ours. So Yeah, I do have a few pet
Yeah,
peeves.
that's uncalled for, definitely. I mean, from a DJ's point of view, I know Buddy and Dwayne will agree with me. Put the music on. You want to fill the dance floor with the music.
Mhm,
And then from outside the dance floor, the further you get away, the lower it should be for them.
mhm.
Like you said, Tracy, you said there's people that haven't seen each other. There might be relatives. It might be just friends that haven't seen each other for 5, 10 years, and
Sure.
they're getting a chance to communicate with each other. So
Mhm.
that's their party time. I mean, I've done weddings that some of the people didn't dance. Their heads were bobbing, but they were talking to guests on that the other night. They're, man, you played some great music. Oh my God, we enjoyed it so much. They
Mhm.
didn't get up to dance one song, but they just enjoyed the music. That's the main thing. That's, you know, but you
Exactly.
get some DJs that say, well, I gotta pack the dance floor.
Mhm.
No, your main goal is to make sure every guest is happy.
Right.
Not you can't please everybody, but make
Right.
sure majority of the guests are happy.
Right.
That's your main goal
Right.
as the DJ. Just
Right.
that and the bride and groom. Yeah, the bride and groom come number one to me. That's I don't care if the parents paid me with being the DJ. And if the bride and groom put down they don't want to hear this certain song, and mom and dad come up and say, well, I want to hear this song. No, I'm sorry.
No, yeah.
Bride and groom said no. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
So one more thing, follow up on this, as far as volume and stuff like that. We do this as our company and having multiple speakers. We have a couple different sizes for different size. When you have a smaller wedding, like the wedding we have tomorrow and the wedding we have Saturday, they're 60, 70 people each wedding. So we're not going to use a huge system, kind of like Dwayne has. He has his column arrays, his small arrays. We have a different manufacturer, but similar, which we use for that. We have bigger ones that go up in size, and we have bigger arrays that go up. We can cover 300 people, no problem. I feel that a lot of DJs have one size fit most.
Mhm.
Instead of them saying, hey, you know what, I need to have different tools, kind of like a chef has different knives in the kitchen to cut different things, to do different things. They should have different speakers. They should have some different lighting. They should have options, because when you talk to one person, it shouldn't be cookie cutter everything. Because I see a lot of posts. I don't know if you see yourself, a lot of DJ posts. They post the same setup every single time because they have one setup.
Mhm.
I try to do things differently every time, because every venue is unique, and every wedding is different as far as capacity of people.
Sure.
Do you feel that? I know Dwayne does that too. Dwayne and I've talked a lot extensively on sound and stuff like that. He does that market kind of set for sound, so that way it's not overly loud. You were at a wedding with Dwayne. Was that really a very pleasant wedding to work with, or was that above average, or do you say at average or below average as far as quality of sound and quantity of sound?
I think it was above average. I think it was amazing. I think the placement, I think the music that they played, they were a young couple, but they were definitely old souls. And they had a totally different, elegant, and classy vibe. It wasn't, you know, the kind of wedding I did after where it wasn't the bump and grind, and yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they wouldn't even imagine such a thing. So Dwayne knocked it out of the park. It was perfect, and it was just the music, and it was outdoors, which always makes a difference, but it never a time I was like, gosh, this is so loud. It was just perfect. And having said that, the wedding I did, after that, it was an enclosed, huge space. The acoustics were so bad. I no sound paneling. It was just loud, and lots of people left.
Mm.
As soon as all the dances, toast, cake cutting, everything was done, they lost half their audience, and then they just kept dwindling out. It just got darker and louder. And I was really surprised when I looked around and I didn't see any type of anything on the walls to absorb that. And then he just made it worse. So, yeah, Dwayne knocked it out of the park. He knew his audience. That's the thing. Know your people. And he knew that it was a very classy, elegant crowd, and it was a totally different vibe.
And you're only going to get that if you, like, Dwayne spent the time getting to know the couple. He,
right.
you know,
Yeah.
he spent time getting to know you. Like, we do the same thing. We spend time getting to know our couples, what they like and what they don't like, and it gets tailored to them. And
sure,
I don't think everybody takes the time to do that, you know?
No, they don't, which I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, they hired you to, they hired you to execute their most important day, and you don't take the time to get to know what they want?
I'm going to say this. Dwayne did his homework. Now, Dwayne is I don't know if you do this now, Angie, but he's a former teacher. So he worked in the public school systems. He was a teacher, and he understands homework. He did his homework on the couple, and he does this relentlessly on all his clients to make sure it's tailor-made for the couple. And one of the things we say on my show, and Dwayne also says on his show with Mike, is you don't sell gear, sell the environment, sell the feel of the wedding, sell the immersive event itself. Make it immersive about the couple. Make it about the two of them. Make sure their fingerprints are throughout the night. They don't have to pick every single song, but someone could walk away and be like, yeah, that was Tom and Stacy's wedding, or whoever the couple is.
Right.
They enjoyed it, and they had fun. And that's kind of thing that Tracy and I try to do as well. And I know Dwayne does, because, again, he is a perfectionist, to say the least. And, again, you got to see that and work with him on that part. But I feel more DJs need to do that versus just, hey, let's play music, be loud, or, hey, I'm not going to play anything because the couple's outside kissing cows or whatever, you know?
Right.
Angie and Tracy, I have a question for you. This is one thing I've been doing over the last several years. When I do introductions, I do not like, okay, the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Brady and Mr. and Mrs. Smith. The only ones that I call Mr. and Mrs. is the bride and groom. I'll say the parents of the bride, I'll say their first and last name. Parents of the groom, say their first and last name. But nobody gets called Mr. and Mrs. except for the bride and groom. A couple of DJs told me, oh, Mike, that's wrong. If it's the parents, you should still say Mr. and Mrs. No. To me, I think the attraction is about the bride and groom. And they are the only ones that should be called Mr. and Mrs. for that day.
If that's what they want, because we've had couples that don't want Mr. and Mrs.
Well,
like,
yeah, I mean,
you know, but yeah, I agree with you though.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't think the parents should be called Mr. and Mrs. Because I had a couple that the bride's name was the same as the mother's, and the groom's name was like, I'm Michael the Fourth, my son's Michael the Fifth. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Michael Timick the Fourth. And now we have our bride and groom coming in, Mr. and Mrs. Michael Timick the Fifth. It's like, no, just Michael and Lisa Timick. You know, and then whoever the bride's parents' names are, that's it. Just first names or first and last name, and then boom. Go on with that.
We try to do more just first names on introduction of non.
Yeah, and then the bridal party.
It's just their first and last if they want that. But mostly, usually the couples get that. But most of them, when we tell them that the only last name should be said is the two of them, especially like the wedding party, the supporting characters basically in the wedding. Those people stand up to the wedding. They're friends and family. They're important, yes, but. You know, if it's Tammy Smith and everyone there's, you know, it's a Smith family, you just go, hey, it's Tammy, it's a sister of, you know, the groom or whatever the case may be. Just use first names. Keep it very polite and a little bit casual. But again, the main characters are the couple, and I've said this before to our couples, and Tracy feels the same way. It's like going to a concert. When you go see, and again, you have tons of bands in the back. You go see the headliners. Yeah, the other, the other bands that come up there before the opening acts and stuff like that, they're cool and stuff like that. And a lot of times you may go there and see a couple different bands. You're like, oh, hey, I like this band. They make good songs, but I'm really there for, in her case, like Shinedown or something like that, because that's what Tracy likes. And she enjoys the opening band, but the main thing is that Shinedown's the main thing she's there for. That's the same thing with a couple. They're the main headliners. Yes. They're the ones everybody's coming there to see. They're the ones who want to buy the merch, They're the ones who want to get the selfies with them. If the groom decides to stage dive onto people, people want to hold him and hug him and kiss him, whatever the case may be.
Yes.
It's they are the ones who are there, the most important people, because where's everyone take a selfie with? The bride and groom. Where's everyone to hang out with? The bride and groom. If the bride and groom go outside to go sneeze, everybody follows them outside. Like you know, it's amazing. So we try to make sure that we tell them it's about them.
I always tell the bride, because the groom will say, well, I'm not really a dancer. I'll tell the bride, you know, try to be on the dance floor as much as you can, because wherever you're at, that's where your guests are going to be at. Yeah. If you're outside smoking, you may smoke, you may not be a smoker, you might just want to go out for some fresh air, but if you're going out there continuously, your guests are going to go out there with you. So try to stay inside on the dance floor. I appreciate it. Your guests will be, you're the mother bee. They're following you around like you wouldn't believe.
Absolutely. Or the other thing, I just thought about this. I had a venue that the DJ was way over here and dance floors over here. And I tried to get them to change the setup, and they refused. And it was awful because the DJ needs to be at dance floor central.
Yes.
And so what a lot of my wedding parties try to do, and all the guests, they try to get right before a dance party starts, they try to do a group photo. And then the DJ goes right in. Yeah. And it's like, oh, we're already on the dance floor. Imagine that. Yep. And then everyone starts dancing. Yep. So that's also a little thing they do.
Do the photographers in your area usually, like around here, I don't know, they started this about 5-6 years ago. Usually after the cake cutting, they're out of there, the photographers. And it's like, and they'll say, oh, well, okay, we'll stay for 2 songs. Throw the Cupid Shuffle on and throw the Cha-Cha Slide on. A couple of couples didn't want to hear those songs on the Do Not playlist. And they're like, Mike, trust me. I said, no. The bride and groom said, no Cupid Shuffle, no Cha-Cha Slide.
Right.
Do you do your cake cutting later?
Honestly, the venues want the cake cutting done as early as possible. This way they could serve the cake. And
that's why I'm surprised that, I mean, usually here it's intros, cake cutting, speeches, prayer, dinner, dancing, and then shortly after that, then the photographers will leave. And that's what we try to work with them too. Like if you're doing a garter toss or a bouquet toss, we want to know when the photographer's leaving so that we can try to get those 2 things done before the photographer leaves.
You usually do the intro, first dance, parent dances, toast, then they'll sit down, eat, and then they'll do I try to wait. Bride and groom are done eating, and then I look about 70% of the people are done eating. Then I'll go right into the cake cutting. I'll have the photographer, the bride and groom get up there, do a mock cake cutting, and then I'll announce it because I worked with some photographers that were very short. Then they're with the cameras and they're up, so it's like, no, they're there. They're right in the center of the mix. Let them get that done. But then again, it's like right after that, they want to leave, but they want to get pictures of the guests dancing. So the 2 songs is the Cupid Shuffle and the Cha-Cha Slide. It's like, I can't play that. They don't want it. So I got to come up with something quick that's on their list so it gets everybody out on the dance floor so they can get some pictures of people dancing. That's
one of the things, one of the caveats what we do also with the special dances, because again, we do the special dances after dinner. We take this first dance and put it to the last of the 3 special dances. So it's mother, son, daddy, daughter's first dance. It's the first dance of the couple, not the first dance of the night. So other people can dance, do whatever. It's the first dance of the couple, husband and wife. But a lot of people like to do anniversary dances and want those pictures. So halfway through that first dance, or a little bit later, we ask other couples to join them on their song. So it comes into, it's usually, people don't always want to play the total song, the first dance song, because they're embarrassed or whatever.
Oh, yeah, we've had a lot of couples like, I don't want everybody staring at me for 4 or 5 minutes while I'm awkwardly swaying with my spouse. Can you help us?
So later half of the song, we ask other couples to join them, and then we start going into the anniversary dance when we get everyone up there. But also, the floor is filled. The photographer's taking pictures. You have full dance floor of all the couples there. and then you start whittling down. Of course, they're the first couples off the floor, but it's one of the things that we found a lot of success doing that, because not only the photographer's happy with all these pictures, they're happy because they got all the pictures of everyone on the dance floor. But people, again, feel much more interactive, and it's an immersive feel on the whole entire night. And it's a very successful thing. Now, again, here in Chicagoland, it's usually, again, the special dances are afterwards. First dance, mother, son, daddy, daughter. But we take the first dance, put it to the last, and do that with the anniversary dance too. So that could be a thing you could offer your clients if you really wanted to do that. I'm not a fan for coming in and do a first dance, because I feel that people are there to see.
We get it.
the couple.
We get it occasionally where they want to do like intros, cake cutting, first dance, because they have a lot of older relatives that might be leaving right before after dinner before it gets dark, and so we always try to accommodate that.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan for it, but it's like, okay, whatever.
We can.
Yeah, we do it, but it's not a common thing. It's like anything else. It's always interesting regional things. I know. I want to say, is it New Jersey or whatever? They do the cake cutting late at night, really, or is it California?
New Jersey sometimes does a cake cutting towards the end of the reception, because it's their present to take home from the wedding.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of I did 3 Indian weddings, and that's how theirs is. The Indian weddings, one of the last things to do is the cake cutting, because that's like a gift from the bride and groom for the guests to take home with them.
Yeah, the wedding that we did, they didn't cut their cake until 8:15, and so it was already dance party, and they wanted to. So they had a very small wedding, and they had like even their bar was just so well thought out. There were no liquor. They only had red wine, and for cocktail hour, they had hors d'oeuvres and champagne only. Then they had a pour service. They had the red wine. They had a little bit of white wine that the caterers went around and poured during the pour service for dinner. And then at 8:15, we had champagne and cake. So they were very, very elegant, and it was beautiful. So that was one of the out of a handful of weddings that I've done where we did not immediately do intros. They would go right to cake cutting. Then they'd get the dances done. They had their captive audience who got to watch everything, because again, they had a lot of older people that they knew when the dancing started, they would leave.
Yeah.
So and again, like you guys know, you have to know your audience. You have to know, do you want grandma to stick around and watch people dance for 2 hours and then see you cut your cake? No, grandma does not want to do that. So you just kind of got to know who your crowd is, and, make it appealing for them to want to stay.
Yep.
One of the things, I don't know if they do that over in Ohio or in Pennsylvania, but the venues here, they usually put the cake on the dance floor. So that's one of the reasons why they do the cake cutting right away, because they have it on a dance floor and people come in, they do intros and then, cut cake cutting.
More often than not, that's dessert. So as soon as you cut it, they take it off the dance floor and they start cutting it so that as soon as dinner's done, they bring it out and serve it.
Yep.
Yeah.
However, did have a couple times kids go up and grab hands full of cake out of the cake. And I will tell you a very quick story about a photographer at a wedding. We did this wedding. It was a few years ago. I'm watching the photographer. It's after the cake cutting. Cake is probably 10 feet away from me. Couple walked back to the head table about 25, 30 feet away. Tracy went with the couple. And the photographer, and I've seen it before, put the forks together, take pictures, of stuff of the table and stuff. They kind of organize stuff. So he's organizing. He looks down at the cake, and it's a cake that they fed each other with their fingers and kissing each other and all that. He looks at the cake, grabs a piece of cake off the same plate, and ate the piece of cake. And goes, "Oh, it's good cake," and walks away. She comes walking back about 2 minutes later, and she's like, "You're white," and she could have pushed me over.
But he's sitting there like this.
So it's all the gambit you see with a lot of vendors. Again, I've never seen a photographer do that, but Okay.
That's weird. That's so
I mean,
weird.
the guy was hungry the second he got there, because as soon as he got there, he was like, "What time's dinner and what are we having?" I was like, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you."
Well, and here's the thing, and that's where your timeline comes in, because the bride and groom don't want to be photographed when they're eating. So
Right.
that's when I tell the vendors, there's a plate for you. Go now, go now, go now, go now. Get your food. We all eat crazily sitting on a milk crate in the corner. That's what you got to do. And yeah, that's just funny. But to answer your other question about the photographer, so I have basically my photographers do one of two things. They give them a 45-minute timeline after the last tables through dinner. They will wait 45 minutes and then they leave. Or they do the golden hour photos, and as soon as that's done, because people are still eating, bride and groom are already done, and they get those magic shots for golden hour and they're out. So some, that 45-minute window gives them a little bit of a couple dances. But yeah, they don't seem to capture a whole lot of that anymore.
I mean, there's only so many photos of people dancing you can take. Like, they all look alike.
Right. Right. So,
I mean, things have changed so much. I mean, me and my wife were married 35 years ago. I mean, you had the Polish bridal dance, you had the garter, the bouquet.
Sure.
Today there's very little single people coming to weddings. Everything has just changed so much. It's unbelievable. So you got to go with the flow. You got to change accordingly. If you don't change, you're going to be basically out of business. So,
right.
And again, the communication between the coordinator, the photographer, videographer, the venue manager, all that comes into play because we're all on the same page. We're all there for one thing. One goal is to make the bride and groom happy. That's it. I mean, like I said, I worked with so many wedding coordinators that were great. It's just that, honestly, it's one that just killed me. I was like, like, she sticks in my head like you wouldn't believe it.
Let it go, Mike.
I know.
Get that bad apple out of there.
It killed me because when she told me what she got paid for at the end of the night, it was double of what I got paid, and she did absolutely nothing. She put ivy on the tables, and then she had Mr. and Mrs., like the light up letters behind them. Only problem is Mrs. was where the groom was sitting and Mr. was where the bride was sitting. I'm like, you say anything wrong there? She just, no, nothing at all. I said, Mrs. is where the groom is sitting and Mr. is where the bride's sitting. Oh, maybe I should have moved the letters. Why would he move the letters? Just tell the couple switch. That's all,
Right.
You go this side, she goes that side. That's it.
Right.
But she was,
it's all about the details.
Yeah.
So Angie and Tracy, one question for you for DJs. Again, we asked about give us things that DJs don't do right, and a couple things that they always that drive you crazy. What are two things they could do to help you besides timeline? That's a given, and besides communication, that's a given. But
is it a given?
We're saying it's a given right now because that's an established thing. But what's one thing at a gig, at a event, that they can do to help you at an event? What's the one thing they can do besides the communication and understanding the timeline? What else can they do to add to that? To again, not being loud, not crazy lighting, stuff like that. All things are equal.
I've only worked with one other DJ. So you could listen to me.
Oh, you're sleeping on the couch.
There you go.
I listen to you.
No, like I mean, you said communication's a given. Like I think that's like, I don't think you can stress that enough because we're married. We can communicate without talking. Like we can literally look at each other when something's going on and we know what's going to happen.
I'm in trouble.
But like that's where you need to establish a rapport with your the photographer that's there and the videographer that's there, as well as the banquet staff that's there too.
Right.
Like you have to get that established or you're going to have a disaster.
Right. Yeah, and I agree with that. And I think just also keeping the bride's wishes as top. If she doesn't want certain songs, don't play the songs. That's happened
Exactly.
before.
Yep.
Don't
Yep.
play the songs. If mom's paying the bill and she is the one that signed your contract, which has happened in the past, and
Oh
she
yeah.
asks you to do something, you do it. You just do it. Not because you think you know better. You're there to please your client. And
Yes.
yeah, so that I've seen that firsthand, and that actually is two things that they could do that would be better. Yeah. And play by the rules with the venue. I mean,
Mhm.
especially if you're the preferred DJ. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't understand that one. But yeah.
Some DJs, I think, just have this chip on their shoulder that the louder the music is, the better it is.
Mhm.
The more they're on the microphone,
Yes.
the better. Me
Mhm.
as a DJ, the least amount of time I can be on the microphone, that's what I want because I'm not the center of attention. The
Mhm.
bride and groom are.
Mhm.
That's it. I don't want to be on the microphone unless I have to be. Somebody's lights are left on in their car, so be it, or
Mhm.
so and so, or the bus is here to pick up the guests at 9 o'clock or whatever. That's what I'll do. But to be announcing, we're doing an 80 set, we're slowing it down, we're gonna do three slow songs in a row. No, just play the music. They'll know.
So you mean you don't sing and dance to the last three songs that are played on the dance floor?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I just
Thank
I
you.
I I am behind my booth. If guests want to come up, one main thing is I love it. The guests will come up and say, "Where is your music coming from? Where's the CDs at?" I'm like, "There is none." How about records? There is none. Tapes? There is none. Where do you get the music from? My hard drives. You mean that has music on it? I mean, they're just. It's a different day and age from when
It is.
they got married.
Mhm.
It's just something different that they may have never seen before. Because
Right.
some DJs are like, "Oh, this is my area. Nobody back here." Me, hey, you want to come back and see what I'm doing? Fine, come back and see what I'm doing. I'll show you. I have no problem with that. It's uh, one thing I despise at weddings are children.
Oh,
If the parents are watching the children, that's fine. If they are not watching the children, no. I had to stop a wedding because kids kept on picking up the lights, and I'm like, "Yep, that's it.
Oh no.
Boom,
mhm.
hit pause."
We've had that.
And ladies and gentlemen, these four children here in front of me, parents, please come up and gather your children, take them back to your table, and we will continue with the music. I mean,
Sure.
that's yeah, I had to do it. There was no ifs, ands, buts about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The last not the last one that I did, the one before that, it was a 3.5 hour wedding. The bride and groom and the wedding party showed up an hour late.
Hmm.
So I had 2 hours to complete everything. And she wanted to do the shoe game, this game. I'm like, no. Then I had a couple of grooms and a couple of bridesmaids. Hey, do you mind if we run to the bar, go get a drink before the introductions? I said, listen, stay right where you're at. We're doing introductions now. Do
Yeah.
not move until I call your name. I was so belligerent to them. I had to be because they were intoxicated already. And if they went up to the bar to get more drinks, who knows where they would have went to. You know,
Right, right. So speaking of unattended children, we had buffet line in a center of a room that was adjacent to the reception area. We had three kids that were in the wedding, and they were little. They were little guys. Well, they're running around the buffet table. Then they started to decide that they were going to run and dive under the buffet table where we probably
oh,
had eight sternos lit,
oh,
and the tablecloths went to the floor, and they were going underneath them, which was pulling the Schaefers and the sternos closer to the edge of the table.
mm,
So I'm standing by the bar watching, making sure everyone's good. Literally had to run, grab sternos that were still lit because these kids kept diving under the tables.
I'll tell you, just by talking to you, you're more than a wedding coordinator. You're covering every aspect of the whole reception. God bless you, because I mean you are doing a great job. Again, I the one wedding coordinator I worked with, he was. I feel so bad for him. He did have a nervous breakdown because he was so he was gay, and no pun intended. He was so anal about everything. 603 are introductions, Mike. I mean, me and him worked together so many times, so he wouldn't even email me. He knew I knew what we were gonna do. Mike, 603. Yep. 603 introductions came on. 611 was first dance. 611, that first dance came on. But there was other DJs that didn't work with him as well. They pushed his buttons.
Sure.
The poor guy had a nervous breakdown over it, because I mean, he was just so intense in doing his job correctly, and he wanted everything perfect, and nothing in life is perfect.
No.
He tried to get it as close to perfect for the bride and groom, but he just went beyond that, and it got to him. And I felt so bad for him, and he's out of the business completely now. I wish he was still in the business, because he was one of the people I loved working with. He was just boom. The one venue, same way. Beth, she is so attentive. She goes around to every table and asks, "Do you have enough to eat? How's the food? Do you need more food?" And, I mean, it's like that's what they're supposed to do.
Sure.
Some are just like, "Hey, we're never gonna see these guests. Yeah, we're never gonna see this bride and groom again."
Yeah. I've seen on-site coordinators at venues that, well, I should rephrase that. I've never seen them. When I needed extra chairs, or I needed, a table moved or something, I had to find maintenance guy to unlock the closet, because she sat in her office and never came out.
Yep.
Over
Tracy.
and over and over.
Yeah.
Tracy's run into that too.
Yeah.
So, got a question for you from the chat, Angie, and I'm gonna throw Tracy in this one too. Ceremony mic, lavalier, lapel microphone, or a handheld microphone on a stand, and which one and why?
Lapel. It looks cleaner in pictures. I mean, I even tell the guy that married them, get out of the way for the picture of the kiss.
Don't look like a creeper at their first kiss.
Yeah, move. Yeah, lapel. And we practice. And if so, typically DJ's not there for rehearsal, and that's fine. We pretend, we have something there, because we also have to remember, we got a boutonniere, we got a mic, and it looks cleaner, and it looks just a lot nicer than the stand.
Yep.
And then you get someone that knocks it over and it makes a lot of noise. The ones that are here, they don't fall over.
Yep.
When we do it, we do two lapels, one on the officiant and one on the groom.
Yes.
So that way it's two omnidirectional. So that way, wherever way the bride is pointing, she's kind of talking into a microphone.
Absolutely.
So we do that, and then we do a handheld mic on a stand for readings.
Yes.
Off to the side.
Yes.
That's the only time we have a mic on a stand. Other than that, we never put a mic on a stand.
Right.
I worked with one ordained minister, and I worked with her 5 times, and 5 times she wanted, first was a handheld mic. She wanted to hold it in her hand. Next time was a handheld mic. She wanted it on a stand. Then she wanted a headset. Then she wanted a lavalier. Then she went back to a wired mic. I'm like, listen, honey. The last one was actually the headset. I didn't bring it with me today. Why not? I'm like, because I didn't know you were the officiant. If I did, I would have packed every microphone with me, because she was just so.
See,
change your mind, like do it.
With the handheld mics, it's so awkward, because they're flipping, and you hear lots of noise.
Yep. And then they're like, some of them stick it, they do this.
Yeah.
And then it looks like you're at a talk show, the Jerry Springer show, sticking a mic in their face.
And if we're going to do that, we need to practice that.
This officiant did it very properly, because what she had was like an oversized book. So everything was on one page that she was reading from. And then she put the microphone in the middle where the scene was, which was great, because she held it up close to her when she was speaking. Then when the bride and groom were giving their vows out, she just pushed the microphone up a little bit that you really even couldn't see it, but you could hear the
Nice.
bride, you could hear the groom.
Nice.
Once they said their vows, she let it come back down to her. Once she was done talking, I hit mute on my mixer. That was it. I was like, oh, she did that well. That was the only thing she did well, because everything else was, when I seen her, I'm like, okay, which microphone is she gonna want today? Like,
That's
oh
funny.
God.
That's funny.
So
Well,
let's get to the
other
chat.
thing-
Because Buddy acting like this is Tuesday night, but I wasn't going to say anything.
I'm helping.
No, he's helping. He's doing a good job. Buddy, I can.
Wayne, you want me to smack him for you?
Yeah, I was like, this is supposed to be the girls' night.
They're doing a great job. Angie, Tracy, you ladies are knocking out of the park. God bless you both.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd like to shout out because our 10 o'clock group from the Start to Spin guys are in the chat. Of course, DJ Cool Thing was here first. And I'd like to say I'm sorry to hear about his uncle passing away.
I'm sorry, Cool Thing.
And I know we got Will. Will is in the chat.
Yep.
And he was
Yeah,
saying,
good.
going back to the buffet lines, he's saying there should be dual lines. Yeah, I like that too. Except because the one wedding I did, they just had the one way in and one way out, and it took forever to get through dinner. Let's see. Big J DJ Services is here.
Yep. Hello, Jay.
He said he doesn't remember the last time he did a bouquet and gardener toss. Do you see any trends?
We've done more bouquets than garters. I honestly can't remember the last garter toss we had.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. And then this weekend, I think one of the two weddings we're doing a bouquet. I don't think we're doing it on both of them.
No.
But yeah, I feel like the garter is kind of on its way out.
What I noticed with the bouquet now, it's not even a toss. The bride comes up and gives it. Most of the time, it's to her mother.
Oh yeah, that happens sometimes. Yep,
Yes.
They dedicate it to the mom, or we've had they don't throw anything like that. They did like a t-shirt toss.
Oh, that's cool. I never had
Yeah.
that. That's cool. That's an idea for me now.
There you go. There you go.
What about any of the other stuff? Like, because I know when I first started doing weddings, they had like the money dance. They had all those different, gamey kind of extras.
Yeah, I think last year we might have had one money dance. I think it's been dwindling in popularity. And Angie, you probably saw this. It used to be pretty popular. And then it's just kind of, because nobody carries cash. I think probably since COVID, nobody carries cash anymore.
Yeah.
Really, everybody
Right.
just used their debit
That's
card
true.
or their phone
That's
to
true.
pay, and so you don't, you're not going to get anything.
Tracy, you mentioned I was at a wedding and they were doing the Polish bridal dance, and they had a sign you could Venmo. I'm like, wow, this is something different. I'm gonna Venmo.
Sign of the
the bride.
times.
Oh,
like-
that's funny.
You can
All right,
Venmo and help us get to our honeymoon.
Yes.
All right. Speaking of Venmo, here's another question for you. DJs who put out a Venmo or a tip jar at a wedding.
Never. That should be knocked right off the table.
That's tacky.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And I always ask if the bartender, it depends if they're a bartender that is part of the venue, if they're allowed to have a tip jar, or if they do Venmo. Some people are like, absolutely no tip jar. And they do not like that. So, or they'll put the little QR code out there. That's acceptable. And it depends if they're independent or if they work with the venue. But yeah, I've had that come up quite a few. So they all have their different rules.
Yeah. Every venue does.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of venues, they also have in their contract, once you're over a certain amount of people, a percentage of it is for gratuity for the staff. So if you have a 2% or 3% gratuity for the staff, which is supposed to be the full staff, everyone from the dishwasher all the way up to staff serving to the bartenders. If you're doing that and the bartenders are getting tipped on top of that, it's kind of like double dipping.
Yeah.
Right. That's I don't like that. And that shouldn't be the case. Either the bartenders part of the package and they share their money with everybody, or they are on their own. And it depends on if the staffing at the venue, do they have the rentals? So the staff at the venue is doing the dishes. Usually in my experience is the rental companies coming in and the caterers doing the dishes, and then they get it ready for them. But so there's hardly a staff at any venue that is doing all that work. So
there's I just saw in the chat, Angie, Photo Dash. Is that popular still? It's still popular by us, and like the way we do it is like we do it like a game where we usually play the Mission Impossible song, and we start off with a couple like at the head table or the sweetheart table, and then Buddy will tell all the tables to get up and pose. That way the tables are ready. And then the couple dashes in, and then I'm going around like having the table sit down, and then also telling him back like, okay, we have 5 tables left, 4 or whatever. Just try to get people excited, and it kind of gets them. We do it usually towards the end of dinner. That way we're kind of getting them out of their dinner slumber and ready to dance.
Right.
And I kind of time box it too, because I will tell them that the last wedding one did like 3 minutes and 10 seconds, and I try to beat that. Even never do.
People are competitive,
yeah.
So you can hear a little something.
And we got to do it in 3 minutes. We got to beat 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And I start doing countdown, even though it's way over 3 minutes and 10 seconds most of the time. I'd say, okay, it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds and stuff like that, and start going through things.
Yeah.
It's fun because, again, those table dashes are great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Rarely see that.
Oh, really? Okay.
I rarely see that. Yeah. I do see just, the bride and groom will try to visit and thank, each table. If they don't do that, when the rows are excused after the ceremony, but it's not like a game with music. So that's something I rarely see.
Angie, when they do the, like, let's go visit the tables, do you kind of keep an eye on them so they don't get stuck? Yeah. Same.
Like, okay, Aunt Susie has talked to you long enough. Let's see. Yeah. Everyone's on a time right here. Yeah.
Yep.
And then I stopped off at
Dwayne, you're on the show tonight?
Huh?
Dwayne, you're on the show tonight? Look at
I thought it was. Diego from La Ruckus Inc. had said for the photo dash, he uses the Eye of the Tiger. And then he had mentioned something about the lapel mics. He says, I feel that the lavs lose signal faster than the handhelds.
He also mentioned they better tip me.
Mm-hmm.
That's at the end. They give him a tip. But Diego, what we're talking about is having a tip jar on your table.
Yep. But I have it. I don't have one like right there. I use the Request Now app, and with that one, they have the option if they want to tip me, they can just tip me through the app, because that's where I get all the song requests from. So at the end of the night, it closes. I close it, and then it says thank you for coming, and if you want to leave a tip, have my Cash App and all that there. So that's the closest I get to a tip jar. And then Will says, we like to party is what he plays. And then Cool Thing says they do the limbo and the piñata. Oh. He did it at 2 of his weddings.
I like to play Photograph by Def Leppard. That it's a rock song, and what happens, the elderly people don't want to hear that too long, so they'll get the photograph taken. Okay, move to the next table. They're pushing the bride and groom away, so which is good.
I know Tracy and Buddy sits together on consultations, so it's almost like they're working on the timeline and the music. And this is for the next time that I run into a wedding coordinator, other than you, Angie. What are some of the things that I should be asking my couple once I find out that they have a wedding coordinator? Like, because I don't want to like step on, the wedding coordinator's job and ask redundant questions. So what are some of the things that you ask and take care of that I probably need to ask my couple when I talk to them?
Yeah, I do think we ask the same questions, because when we communicated, except you had more of his side, I had more of her side, and I think we kind of merged that together. So that was really good. So basically, I focus a lot on, like what time is hair and makeup, or what time are we doing this, or when are they coming, or who is it? And I try to set that up. So I have kind of a different focus there, where you start with cocktail hour or reception, and then you take it from there. And then we just make sure we work together as far as the first dance, when are the parent dances, the cake cutting, the intros, that kind of thing. But yeah, I think in our experience together that we both did the same thing. And then we kind of, when we met, we're just like, oh, okay, this is what I have, this is what I have, merge them together. But yeah, I think, even asking the same questions is okay, because sometimes you get a different answer.
Yeah.
A different
And that's like we try to have, if there's a wedding coordinator, we try to have that person join our final meeting. That way that the coordinator can hear the songs and they can make note of it too, so they know what songs are playing when.
Right.
If there's any concern about anything, we're all together at once and we can all discuss it at once. We're hearing the same thing. We really want the bride and groom there at that final meeting. We prefer that. I mean, obviously sometimes there's things that prohibit that from happening, but that way, if we can get all parties together, like last night's couple, we asked him what time he was going to be there, and he said one time, and then she said, no, you're getting there at this time. So they had a little disconnect right then and there, so like now we've got them talking
all the
about
time.
yeah, about what time to be there. You know what I mean? So it's just like, hopefully if you can get everybody together all at once and go over the same questions at once, that's probably easier for everyone. And I know it can't always happen that way, but
Right. That's tough.
Yeah, so basically you deal with the I guess you could say foundation, more so times, whereas the DJ would handle more so of the filling in the blanks. What happens in between that time? What kind of vibe and music?
Right. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
yeah, because like Angie being, the more inclusive coordinator, like she's concerned about hair and makeup and getting all, we're not so much, you know what I mean? Like that's not what I'm doing. If you tell me about it, hey, great, but that's probably happening before we're ever there or anything.
Right.
If I know it's happening and I can see like it's going to take longer than 30 minutes to do your hair and makeup, like then I'll let them know, like, hey, you need to stretch that out because it's not going to take that longer.
Right.
They'll even come back with dinner and say, oh, well, they're telling me dinner's only going to take 45 minutes. I'm like, no, trust me, dinner's not going to take 45 minutes. It's going to take longer.
Right. Right. And then when that happens, DJ's got to be quick-witted. He's got to know, how do I fill in this time?
Yes.
And what type of music am I playing?
Yep.
You got to, again, you got to know your audience.
Yep.
Right. And then Will was also saying with the lavalier mics, he says you can't basically shortchange on those lavaliers. If you're going to use them, then you need to go spend the money, because I have experienced that. I tried to shortchange, and those might sound terrible. So what is this thing that I see now? I know you got one, Mike. It looks like the fin.
I picked it up from Phoenix Pro. It's a powered one. It is directional. It's not omnidirectional like the Shure or the Sennheiser, but theirs aren't powered either. So the Phoenix Pro is. I haven't used it yet. I start building my rack, so I'm going to start using that. It's actually going to amplify your microphone, and it's going to give you a longer range to your microphone, which will benefit me for especially ceremonies. Our venues are very small here, but where they put you for the ceremony, they want you to hide behind a tree, a bush. And it's like, well, I gotta see what's going on. Like, let me, I can hide all my equipment, but let me be alongside that tree or alongside that wall so I could view when, the minister or whoever's the officiant's giving the last hurrah and saying, all right, ladies and gentlemen, this is so-and-so. I know when to hit my cue. I know when to hit the cue for when the bridal party's walking in. I had songs that were for the parents walking in, then the bridal party, and then the matron of honor. They picked out different songs for each one walking into the ceremony. But again, I couldn't see them. So somebody from the staff at the venue said, okay, we'll give you a thumbs up. Well, all of a sudden, they're more engrossed in seeing all the people walk in. I'm not getting no thumbs up. I'm like, what the heck? So now these spins, I'm going to tell them, listen, hey, I don't want to be by this tree this close. I'm going to be back another 75 yards. People aren't going to see me now. They're not even going to be paying attention to me. But I know I'm going to be able to my microphone's going to be able to reach them. So it should be good.
So do they work, like, for example, you got the Phoenix
Yes.
model. So is it universal, or will it just only work with Phoenix mics?
No, they'll work with any microphone. But they, like the Sennheiser, the Shure, they're omnidirectional. The Phoenix Pro are directional. So basically they have to be pointed towards the microphone. So, I mean, it's in line of sight. Same with the Shure and same with the Sennheiser, but they're omnidirectional. So they'll spread out a little further. The Phoenix Pro are basically, you point them towards the source, you're going to be good, even if you're 75 yards away. And the thing is, they're a powered one. The Sennheiser and the Shure aren't powered. So that's a little downside for them as compared to the Phoenix Pro. There's a good and bad in both, but they both work. All three work very, very well. They have some really no name brands that I have no idea what they could do.
Now, because they were talking about the lavalier mics, like cutting out. Now, with those fins, would that help with that?
They have a special one for them.
Okay.
They have a special pin that's developed for them, and that's supposed to work very well with them. And I think they're only with the Phoenix Pro lavalier microphones. I'm almost positive. Again, I've used the Phoenix Pro. I've used AKG. I've really never had no problem. But again, I'm very close to the bride, well, to the officiant, stuck behind a bush. But that's the thing I can't stand. It's like I'm like blindsided by everything.
Now I see Kelvin snuck in. Kelvin is the DJ that helped me pack and break down at our event, that wedding that we did. He's with DJK Productions. And he says, I always ask for the last line of the officiant script. And then he says, he was talking about sight, but that does sound. Will went on to say he haven't found a tree big enough to hide him.
I know Willie very well. Well, yeah. Well, I know some trees I can get you behind, pal.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm. And then Kevin went on to say, if you are a CB person, they are beam antennas. And then he said he's tweaking his website.
Cool.
Well, do you guys have any questions for Tracy and I about how we can do our jobs better and to either, I think we both go over the top as far as communicating, but if there's a past coordinator that you had a problem with, what can they do? I mean, I've actually seen coordinators that are sitting down in a corner while the bride's looking for them because they got hot. And it blows my mind because I'm just running
Oh
from the
yeah.
time I get there for
Yep.
14 hours and in my tennis shoes, like I'm just running, trying to make sure everything's good. And I don't get it. But, from a DJ standpoint, what can we do, to make it better? And so you don't leave with a bad impression.
I know I had worked with one that was she wasn't a coordinator. She was more so, it's one of those, I'm your friend, so I'll do this for you kind of thing. So I like people that pay attention to details, and just like with you, communicate. And it's one of those things where it's a team effort. So we got to make sure that we're on the same page. Make sure when we get there, make sure we're on the same page before, and then as soon as we get there, make sure we're on the same page. And then even afterwards, make sure we're on the same page. And the other thing would be those that don't do this on a regular, every event is not the same. Just like a DJ that thinks every event is the same, so they do the same thing for every event. It's like a wedding coordinator, got to remember this too, because the girl that I work with, she was friends of the person and they went to the same church. So she ran the reception like they would do an afternoon church service. I'm like, you can't do that. It's a different kind of beast, a wedding. And then you gotta also think about not the moment, but also you always gotta be thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead.
Absolutely.
So therefore you gotta be able to go and you gotta be on your feet and basically communicate with the couple, the DJ, the vendor, the photographer beforehand, so they can be in their spot to do their job.
And you need to be able to think fast, because like
Right.
Angie and I have both run into problem situations. You need to come up with a solution super fast without making a big deal. Like you can't freak out. You got to quietly figure out a way to solve it and then move on.
Right. And I bet you've done this too, Chase. You anticipate the issue because you can see
can see
what's
it.
going
Yep.
to happen. And then
Yep.
in your head, you're already trying to fix it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
The old saying is thinking on your feet.
Yep.
To Tracy and Angie, I don't have a question. My thing is, I think both of you should maybe have a podcast or release a video, create a video and send it out to different venues, because they may have in-house coordinators. And if you show them what you do or tell them what you are doing, that owner of that venue could sit down with that coordinator, say, listen, here's 2 women, both in 2 different states. This is what they're doing. And it seems like it's working very well for them. Maybe we should try to incorporate some of their stuff. So that is, I have no questions at all for you both of you, because you are doing a standout job. Just, do you have a podcast or a YouTube channel? I know Buddy does.
We can work on it.
Honestly, I think Angie, yourself, create a video, talk to venues, send them out. I mean, flash drives. I mean, you could send the flash drive to them. There's different internet platforms that you could upload that video and send it to that venue, or even get in touch with maybe a few other coordinators that want to learn and learn the right way. Instead of, like I told you about that one, that it was the horror story that stuck in my brain.
Right.
She must have watched the wrong YouTube videos to introduce the bride and groom first. I think if she had the right information, it would be, she might have done a lot better job than what she did. I that night she was very destructive to the bride and groom, ready to kill her. They were, and I was like, yeah. So and it's still in my brain today, and it's like 7 years after the wedding. It's just unbelievable.
Did Tracy and I do our job tonight? Do we win you over?
Oh my God, yes. if I had the opportunity to work
Virtual
with
high
you,
five, Angie.
Tracy, you guys, you ladies did phenomenal. You are doing phenomenal jobs. I mean, under the circumstances, I feel bad for Tracy because she's stuck with the DJ. You know? There's no getting away from Buddy. But no, I mean, but Buddy's a great DJ. The thing is, both of you are doing phenomenal jobs. You are thinking on your feet. You're looking one step beyond what could happen or what should happen. And some wedding coordinators just don't care at all. It's with DJs. They don't care at all either. They're just like, hey, I'll never see this couple again. Yeah. My thought is I may never see that couple again to do their wedding, DJ a wedding for them. But there's friends there. There's family members there that may be getting married. So I want to impress them. I want to make sure the bride and groom are happy, but I want to impress other people at the ceremony, at the reception that may want to hire me then. So that's what I feel.
One of their guests are going to get married, and they're gonna go back to the bride and groom and say, hey, tell me who your DJ was again. Mm-hmm. And then you always have to be in the mindset, this could be potential business. And not only that, but at the end of the day, when you go to sleep, do you want to feel good about yourself that you did a good job? Because I do.
Yes.
I want to know that I kicked it out of the park, and I did everything I could.
Yeah.
You knock it out. Yep. I mean, I can't accept anything less. I just can't.
Matter of fact, and like you mentioned it at the beginning, Angie, like this is the most important day of their lives at this particular moment. Mm-hmm. And like we need to do everything in our possible way to make sure that it goes off without a hitch. Absolutely. Because 30, 40, 50 years from now, they're going to remember everything that happened at their wedding. And if something was bad, they're going to remember that, you know? So we need to do everything we can to ensure that everything goes as smooth as possible.
Absolutely. I had a client, they wanted to come into Highway to Hell. They wanted that for their introduction song. I said, you know, they were 22, 23 years old. I said, you're a young couple, you're going to have children? Oh yeah, Mike, we want to at least 3 children. Okay. I said, well, right now it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and whatever, and YouTube. 15, 20 years from now, they may have the same programs, maybe different names, but everybody has a cell phone. Everybody's recording everything. And you're walking into Highway to Hell, your son, daughter, or whatever, they might be 15, 16, 18 years old and say, Mom, Dad, you came into Highway to Hell? Really? You know, what kind of wedding song is that? And they're like, Mike, I never thought of it that way. I said, listen, I love Highway to Hell as a song. I will play it for you throughout the course of the night, but I don't think it's a proper introduction song to come into your wedding. They're like, thank you. We'll pick out a different song. I'm like, no problem. You know, it's just, but if they still want it, I will play it for them. But I just try to not force it on them, but try to use basically child psychology, you know?
I mean, that's the foundation of their building their new family.
Yes.
And your
yes, exactly.
Like, you guys are crazy.
Yeah.
Great song, though. I mean.
Oh yeah, it is. It's an awesome song to play any other part of the wedding, but introductions, nah. Yeah.
Exactly. That's funny.
Right. So going back to Angie's question, Kevin has said he thinks if a coordinator is involved, then all the vendors should be involved in the meetings. And then he went on and said, mine acted superior and screwed things up by insisting the staff pour the champagne while they were doing their first dance. And then Will said some coordinators leave before dinner. And then Kevin came back and said he was a bad overpriced hack. And the bride and groom had told me, we want to end the song early because of their discomfort on the dance floor. And then Diego has said another thing is they think they are better or over everyone, like chill out. You ain't all that.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I've seen that. I've seen coordinators that come in and they have this air about them and you just want to knock them down. And you're like, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Like, stop it. I can't even with that. I'm the first man in and the last man out.
Yeah.
I've
Every
also seen
time.
photographers like that too, like and video like there's in the wedding profession there's usually one person that thinks they're better than everyone else, that
Yeah.
they're more important, their job in the wedding is more
Sure.
important than everyone else's,
Sure.
and it's not. We're all
No.
equally important.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely
Yes.
agree. But that's
I
crazy.
I mean, you look at a hand that has 5 fingers, all 5 fingers working together, they could create something. The same thing with wedding coordinator, DJ, photographer, videographer, the venue manager. We're all working together. We're there for one to create one thing and make that bride and groom happy. That's how I feel.
Many hands, light work. Even
Yes.
though it's very heavy work in this business.
Yes.
I mean, who are we kidding? It's
I-
hard.
Well,
Yeah.
We love
what-
it.
what you were saying before about there's a guest or somebody that might be there and a friend may they might be a friend, they say, hey, listen, who's your DJ for the night? That just happened this week. I booked a wedding for next year, and this wedding was done 10 years ago. So they remembered me from 10 years ago that, hey, I gotta talk to Damien, see who his DJ was, and boom, I got a phone call, booked the wedding for next year.
That's amazing. And that's why I love this. And Tracy, super quick. Have you done a wedding and then you're lucky enough to get a baby shower?
Oh no. I mean, we've gotten brides reach out that they're pregnant, or they'll send us pictures of the babies and stuff like that, but we've done 2 baby showers, but it wasn't for a couple we did a wedding for.
Yeah. That's like
fun.
full circle. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Or the
Yeah.
sister gets married and they're like, "Oh, we remember you. You were great and you made it so stress-free." And that's pretty awesome.
We did a whole wedding friend group. We did like 8 in the same group, 8 friends' weddings over the course of like 3 years.
That's awesome.
And we had the last one and I was like, we're not
Do you have any more friends?
Yeah, we're not gonna see you anymore for a while. Like we need to do something about that.
And one of the big factors with all of them, and they said it over and over again, was how Tracy made the bride friend at that wedding day so easy.
Mm-hmm.
And Tracy said, that's my job. And my job is to help you out and make you, and I always say this, inform intelligent decisions on your day, because we do this every weekend. You're doing it once, hopefully, and that's it. And you're not going to do it every weekend like we do. Mm-hmm. So we see a lot of problems, and we can tell you what works, what doesn't work. Ultimately, it's your decision, but you have to have, you have to understand what you're getting into too.
Sure.
And some things sound great on paper, but don't execute well in real life.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I get it.
And then Will wants this message is to Angie. He says, the DJs that work for these large companies. Who's that?
That was me. I'm sorry. My niece sent me a video.
It's a little Adele.
Yeah, my niece sent me a video, and she's been feeding chipmunks, and the chipmunks come up, and she has a video going on. I'm like,
The DJs that work for these large companies don't get paid a lot of money, some less than $500. Please keep that in mind when you deal with them. So I'm trying to think of what was said.
Yeah, what does that have to do with?
Well, Will, he works for a man locally here, and this guy has a stable of DJs. He has, like, I want to say 6 or 7 DJs that he takes a picture of, and these are my DJs. But then he has other DJs that also work for him that he doesn't show, and he pays them minimal payment for the wedding. But he's making the big money. His wife is a wedding coordinator. He has photographers, videographers. And the thing is, like, Will, he may have a wedding this Saturday. He'll get all the information either Wednesday or Thursday. So he doesn't even have a chance to reach out to the wedding coordinator, the photographer, the couple. He meets them the day of the wedding.
That's not good.
No.
So
That's not good at all.
the question to Will is then, why is he still working there?
Well,
If you're not
he's
getting paid,
no,
if you're not getting paid
That's
well,
a different show.
yeah. Again, that's
Yeah.
the question: is why are you still working there? That's
Well,
the first question I have.
he is moving on, and the gentleman that he's going to be working for now is actually worked for that first DJ, and he jumped boat too. So, and he's going to be taking care of Will a lot better. And even with me, I try to pass on gigs if I'm booked for that day. If I get a chance to pass on to Will, and yeah, well, here did he give him a price? Yeah, here's the price. Okay, what do I owe you? I said, you don't owe me nothing. Just that's your gig. I don't want no payment for it. I mean, some other DJs will say, hey, well, I want 10 or 15 or 20% of whatever the gig is worth. No, he's working it. It's his equipment. That's his money.
And that makes me sad that someone's grouped together like that. But as far as I'm involved, every single vendor has their own independent contract with the bride and groom.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do feel bad, but I don't know how I would be more of a part of making them more money or whatever, but that's just not a good deal to be in.
No, yeah. I mean, there's still I sympathize with the fact that they aren't getting paid what
Sure.
they should probably be getting paid, but they're still there to do a job and they should do it to the best of their ability. And that's where the communication comes in the beginning. If you have not had a chance to meet with the bride and groom yet because you were just given their information, I mean, first, shame on that owner for running their business like that, but take it upon yourself to reach out to the coordinator and say, hey, I just got this. Can we chat for 15 minutes beforehand to make sure that we're all on the same page?
Absolutely. Yeah. If I don't hear from a vendor 30 days out, I start to have mini panic attack.
Yeah, exactly.
And I keep reaching out. And I've actually had to do that a week prior to a wedding, call the photographer and leave voicemails and text her and email her. And then finally she gets back to me. But
you're
it's
stalking her, right?
Yeah. Well, you have to, basically.
You do. I need to know, when are you arriving? When are you leaving? What are you doing in the meantime?
Mm-hmm.
How far advance? So you do 30 days? Is that kind of your standard?
That's my most popular package. Oh, so they think it's day of coordinator, but you know how that is. It's more like the 30 days prior. Do 2 meetings. I do unlimited, basically, emails and texts. If you text me at 11 o'clock at night, I'm going to text you back because I just can't sleep on it.
Yeah.
And then rehearsal, I'll do rehearsal. I'll typically drive 90 minutes, wherever direction. And then it's a 12-hour day of.
Yep.
12 hours.
So we're in suburban Chicago. We're 30 miles west of Chicago, the city of Chicago. We're out in another county. And we go out, some of the venues, I know you don't know the Chicagoland area. The city of Rockford, which is about an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Hour and 30
Maybe
minutes
less.
Northwest. Well, it depends on traffic. It's basically by the Illinois-Wisconsin border. It's
about 75, 80 miles away.
Yep. Okay. We go out there for weddings. We go up to the Illinois-Wisconsin border. We go into Indiana, just across the border, because right across the border from Chicago is Gary and stuff like that.
Yep.
And it's like an hour to get over there. We go west. We go south. Mm-hmm. We've done, we did a wedding last year in Indiana. It was 2 hours away. That's kind of our limit. We kind of limit ourselves because driving and being fatigued and getting to a venue, it's not fun. No. And the other part is when you look at when customers ask for you where you're at in Ohio, and if they said, hey, can you come down to, let's say, Columbus or down to Cincinnati, would you do that and charge an extra fee, or would you say, no, that's outside my coverage area?
So honestly, I do the 90 miles, and then if they pursue it, I'll add a little bit. I don't like to do that. I honestly really don't. I've had a couple weddings where they wanted me for 2 hours extra, so it was a 14-hour day, and they asked me how much that would cost. So I'm more on board with that than kind of charging a travel fee. But I know a lot of people do it, and they're telling me you should do this, you should do this. I don't like to do it. But I mean, I almost took a wedding like in Kentucky. I'm like, it's 3 hours away. Why not? Have some fun. But yeah, I'm still, I take it case by case because I don't like to do that because I want to make them happy, but still it's my time as well. There's a fine line right there.
Yep.
I guess we got to drive the 5.5, 6 hours to Dwayne's area and have dinner with Dwayne and his wife, and bring Angie and her other half, and the six of us can have dinner. And maybe Mike can drive over from Pennsylvania, Eastern Pennsylvania, come over, drive that a couple hours over.
8.5 hour ride from me.
Yep. And then I see Diego said, going back to the wedding coordinator question that Angie had, his problem was because he looks so young, they think he's a little boy, so they treat him as one.
Angie, I don't know if you know him, but he does look really young.
Oh God, yeah.
That's funny.
Diego, he looks like 16, 17, and he's like 30, 32. I mean, he's a young looking dude, and he's blessed with the gift of youth.
He will appreciate that problem much later.
Yeah.
Either that's all going to catch up to him, and he's going to age very quick.
People think he has gray hair, think it's fake gray hair, like Halloween stuff.
Hey, so we'll take his advice. Anytime you want to do a podcast, you want to meet up, we'll put it out there. We'll tell it how it is.
Honestly, do you have a YouTube channel? Why not?
Because Dwayne's got to be my IT guy.
Honestly,
Tracy can have a YouTube channel. We can make one very quickly.
I mean, both you ladies should somehow join forces, get a YouTube channel going, and get this word out. Because honestly, I don't see that many YouTube channels about wedding coordinators, and I think the ones I did see, I was very turned off, and I don't think I watched like a quarter of the video.
Yeah.
But just listening to both of you speak, I think is a really influence other wedding coordinators that are out there that are doing the job. They're doing it to the best of their ability because what they learned isn't really what it should be being done. So just hearing you ladies to speak tonight is very, very professional.
We renewed your faith.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, I have no problems with wedding coordinators. I just that one. But again, listen to both of you both speak. I know wedding coordinators. I've worked with a couple that were very well, but there's some not misinformation on my part or their part. It was just that they were lost. Like they thought they knew what they should have been doing, but they didn't do it the right way. And then I told them about it, and they're like, "Oh my," and they wrote notes down. So at least I knew they appreciate what I told them. They even noted it down. So this way, when they get hired again as a wedding coordinator, they have the notes. Okay, we got to change this little thing.
Right.
So they did. So which is very
good.
Yeah, very good for them to wanting to learn.
Well, Tracy, I saw the pop-up message that you're getting ready to take off. You got a wedding tomorrow, so it was very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Angie.
And thank you, Dwayne, for bringing us all together. And we all met for a reason. I firmly believe that.
Yep. Something that DJs need to hear, because it's like we talk about DJ. We talk from a DJ's point of view each week, and all day. And every day. So it's nice to be able to hear from somebody else and get their point of view.
Yes.
Because sometimes we are busy saying what we think the client should want, and not necessarily listen to the client.
Well, glad we got to bridge the gap and bring everyone together and do better next time we have a wedding.
Yes. And you got to get a YouTube channel, please.
Yes, sir.
Honestly,
We will
I mean,
take your advice, and I'll take any IT help I can get.
Okay.
Dwayne, you better be working on this quick, buddy.
Yeah, I'm trying to do my Instagram 30
Hey,
day
listen,
challenge. I'm back on the road. I got 3 posts,
Dwayne,
3 days
that's
in a
on the
row.
That's on the back burner now. You gotta get them. You
He'll be
So-
our
so-
agent, right?
So I guess like maybe Wednesday nights you guys could do something
Oh,
for we could set it up. I again I do just like Dwayne. I broadcast on YouTube. Set you guys up a YouTube channel, the 2 of you, and record everything. Set everything up. You guys record it.
You need to talk to
I
my
didn't put it
agent.
on. Oh, the executive producer.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, if you ever get a chance, Angie, if you go to my channel, and watch our show, my show, and Dwayne's on this show too. One of the things you see in the beginning part is I put executive producer, director. Tulip, my furry daughter, is my executive producer. Tracy is now the director, and I'm just a host. So I have that up there. So you see in the corner, it'll say Tulip L. Mueller, executive producer, and Tracy L. Mueller, directed by Tracy L. Mueller, and it's like hey, you know what? I'm gonna get here an IMDb page soon.
Tracy.
Both of them.
Tracy should be the executive producer.
Yeah.
Executive producer
Thank
is the
you,
one with the
Mike.
money.
There you
No,
go.
no. You get to understand in my house who is actually in control of Tracy. That is Tulip.
It's
That's
her.
funny.
Yeah.
Well, Dwayne, you get us all connected.
Okay.
Look at my website. I want to look at yours and your Instagram and all your social media and good stuff. And we'll just promote each other because we're good people and we work hard.
Yep.
Appreciate
And
it.
so 90 miles is that Cleveland area?
For me,
Yeah.
I went to Madison and that was just about right there.
Okay.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Because I'll be on Facebook and I see people in search of DJs and search of wedding coordinators, and I gotta get the name of the photographer. So because I want to refer her to some people.
Oh, absolutely, Claire. Yeah, I'll reach out to you, give you that. Yeah, I'll go Columbus, like north of Cleveland, as far as east and west I can go. And that's
Now, where are you located at, Angie?
so I'm between Cleveland and Columbus.
Okay.
So I kind of have a range there.
So come to any PA's out of the question.
Sounds like
if
that's over
there's
90 miles.
But see, if
Yeah.
you influence somebody here at northeastern Pennsylvania, and those should be a good wedding coordinator.
There you go. If there's a good
I don't-
Steelers
money
game, I might
always
be
can.
there.
Oh no, I'm a Jets fan.
Money is always king. So if they give her enough money
Absolutely.
and said, "Hey, we want to pay you double or triple what you normally," hey, you're gonna pay for my
Yeah.
hotel.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
especially
Want
if
to pay
it's,
for my rental car? Okay.
especially if it's cash on the barrel. That's even better yet.
Yeah. Twist my arm. I'll do it.
Yeah. Yep.
A per diem for food. I get to go to Morton Steakhouse or another steakhouse. Ruth
Yeah.
Chris every night. Hey, okay.
Heck, at this point, I would take Permani Brothers.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
miss that.
Yeah.
I miss
You've
that
been
a
there, right?
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, never
Yeah.
been there.
So
She's
since
traveled much more than I have. So
Good
Yep.
stuff.
So since Buddy and them have a wedding tomorrow, I'm not gonna hold you all too long. But make sure if you're in the chat, make sure you hit the like button. I forget to say that each and every week. Make sure you hit the like button.
subscribe, share.
And then, yep, we'll do an after party. Just put in the comments, and I'll send you the link either through Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be in the after party.
Okay.
I guess
night.
Tracy's doing all
I
the
always
work
ask
tomorrow.
I won't.
Tracy's doing all the work tomorrow. He's going to be in the after party, so you have to be doing all the work tomorrow, Trace.
So I have to be up early with the dog to go
Yeah.
for a walk because she will get me up at like 6:30 to go for a walk.
That's late. 6:30. I'm up at 5 a.m. watering the garden.
I'm normally up at 5 a.m., but I have tomorrow off since we have a wedding. So
Yeah. Well, I will gracefully exit. It was nice to meet you.
Angie,
guys.
nice
Okay.
meeting you.
And
Good
thank
luck.
you.
And I can't wait to see your first YouTube video.
Great
Tracy,
meeting you,
same with
Angie.
you.
Have a nice weekend.
Bye, Angie.
Yes.
All right, see
Bye,
you, Angie. Thanks for
guys.
coming.
Bye.
Yeah.
Yep. Good night.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
So it's time to do our shout outs. Last week, here's our chat leaderboard. We had DJ Cool Thing in the #1 spot. We had DJ Mikey Mike at number 2. We had Buddy from TBM Productions at 3. We had Diego from at Lil Ruckus Inc. at 4. Kevin at DJK Productions at 5. And then we had at North Georgia Weddings Events on DJ Night Owl at 6. And then we had Big J DJ Service at number 7. And again, I want to thank Angie from Happenstance Events for being a guest on the show tonight, as well as TBM Productions, Buddy and Tracy. If you haven't done so already, make sure you join our Facebook group page just by going to Facebook and typing in Cue It Up DJ Podcast. You can join our private group or public group. You can follow DJ Mikey Mike on his socials just by going to Twitter or Facebook and type in DJ Mikey Mike, or his Instagram, which is at DJ Mikey Mike 45. And then you can follow me on all of my socials at Hitman DDub. And then we have this thing called the DJ Collective Network, where it's one culture and many voices. So welcome to our primetime DJ lineup, a weekly schedule of live streamed shows built for DJs by DJs. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your business, we got the knowledge, story, and inspiration to help you level up. Well, I was going to say, I saw you move. I was holding my breath because it seemed like Zoom was getting ready to cut up on me. So that's why I took my background down. And when you disappeared,
I just sent you a message in the chat real quick. Did you see the message pop up?
Okay, no, I was reading. Let me see. Chat. All right, cool.
That's why I would. Okay.
Okay. And then here's our disclaimer. So far, we've been pretty good. Hasn't been too much drama. No more than the knot. Everybody had their opinion about the knot and wedding wire. But on Mondays at 9:00 p.m. on YouTube, for every DJ chasing dreams, no matter the odds, it's your time to spin with DJ Cool Thing. You can catch his show on his YouTube channel at DJ Cool Thing Official. And then on Tuesdays, join Buddy and his weekly guest panel of DJs for unfiltered conversations that matter. It's a DJ roundtable with Buddy from TBM Productions. And you can see the live broadcast on Buddy's Twitch channel at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that channel handle is TBM Productions _Buddy. But if you miss it on Tuesdays at 9:00, then you can see the rebroadcast at 1:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on his YouTube channel at TBM Productions 1. And then on Wednesdays, we have King's Court with DJ James King at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on his YouTube channel at James.King HTX. And then on Thursdays, you have the Cue It Up DJ podcast with me, the Hitman DDub, and DJ Mikey Mike at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my YouTube channel at the Hitman DDub, as well as the Start to Spin DJ podcast with DJ Pretty Boy and DJ Shay, along with DJ Kevin Sounds at 9:00 p.m. on Diego's DJ Pretty Boy's YouTube channel at La Ruckus Inc. You can catch Kevin on the KJ Chill Room with Matt and Eric every Monday at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just by going to djntv.com/KJ Chill. Then don't forget our friend at _DJ Reese_ for the Recreate the Vibes podcast on YouTube and the No Stress Zone podcast on Facebook and his Instagram, where he talks about DJing in a corporate event. And then you can also experience the Woo experience with DJ Woo at the Woo Experience on YouTube. Also, we have the Mega Booth from DJ Night Owl. And you can pick that up from the photoboothdirectclub.com for $2,495. And you can get $500 off by using our Cue It Up code. And he also has the Sigma video guest book for $795 in red, black, and white. He has a YouTube channel that he talks about SEOs and online marketing, and it's called the DJ Biz School with Sean. And you can visit that at DJ Biz School on YouTube. So remember to like, share, and subscribe to all of our channels. And our fade out message is: great vendors stop working beside one another and they start working with one another. So that was the key takeaway for tonight. Let me, till he come back, so we can mute, pin spotlight. Okay. So remember, the key takeaway is communication. If you all can communicate before the event and during the event, and then even after, networking afterwards, then you can make sure that the event, it won't run smoothly. I'm not going to say it'll run smoothly or stress-free, but it will run and you'll be able to get through the event without people really taking note that there's something that went wrong for the night. So again, I'd like to thank everyone who joined us tonight. And thanks, Big J DJ Services. I see Sean, DJ Night Owl, had joined us. And with that said, again, those that want to join the after party, comment in the chat and I'll DM you the link for the after party. So with that said, I hope everyone have a great week. Make sure you go out there and crush those gigs, and see you next Thursday. So remember, before it's time to spin, you got to first cue it up. Right? See ya.
Before the lights, 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 before the packed dance floors, before the name queued up, would mean anything. Been hustling over 30 years, working every single day. Music wasn't just a job, it was built in my DNA. The journey wasn't overnight. Still figuring it out. Still figuring it out. There ain't no change in me. There ain't no change in me. I can only be me, me, me. The consistency stayed the same, even if they don't feel the same. Cause no matter how high I go, I'm still the same OG.
Wait, hold up.